Oh, I want to start by saying I'm going to be looking at my screen. So I already did the drawing. I'm just doing the voiceover for it now. And the easiest way for me to do that is to just show it on my screen, which means I'm probably not going to make eye contact. So please forgive me for the lack of eye contact throughout this video. I need to watch what I'm doing so I can talk about it instead of looking at the camera. Hi, it's Donna, and I am here for 7 things to draw in a month, and we are getting it in just under the wire. I am posting this on July 31st, so if you're here today on the 31st drawing this with me, then you're a real MVP. Thanks for being here. This is a series where I take the things of the month every month and draw them. So this month I'll be drawing the animals of the month, the flower of the month, the bird of the month, the insect of the month, and the tree of the month, as well as a wild card, which for me, for this month, is a birthday cake because July is my birthday month, so might as well learn how to draw a cake. I was so surprised when I did this that I realized that I had no idea what any of these are, even though it's my birthday month. I didn't know what the flower of the month or the tree of the month was for my birthday. So let's jump in with the very first one. The primary flower of the month for my birthday is a larkspur. I had no idea what a larkspur is, and I just started drawing it. So for this walkthrough, I have the video in front of me sped up to 5 times the speed where I just drew all of these things, and I'm just going to narrate through them as we go and see how that works for in terms of a very quick video for you guys. Starting with the larkspur, I had no idea what these were or what they looked like, so I grabbed a few references, and as always, you can find all of my references for all of the months linked in the description below. Now the larkspur starts like so many flowers does. It has 5 petals, and I'm starting to think that almost all flowers have 5 petals, which is something that I have observed now here on month 7 in this 7 things to draw the flowers of the month. They almost always have 5 petals to start. So I drew a 5-petal bunch of flowers, and even this first one came out very nicely. But when I was drawing when I was gathering the references for this, I was blown away. Look at how beautiful these larkspurs are. But I was just blown away by this woman with this giant bouquet of flowers, because when I first started looking at the references, I thought that larkspurs were tiny little things, maybe the size of bluebells. And who knew that they're these big, beautiful bouquets akin to more of something like a gladiola, just huge armfuls of bouquets. So I decided I really wanted to draw her carrying the bouquet so I could remember the size of them. And it wasn't long before I decided that I was itching to get in there with some color, even though I really try to keep these drawing sessions just drawing, because once I add color, I find that I get a little bit lazy when it comes to the observational drawing. So the purpose of this monthly challenge for me is to get the drawing practice. So the fact that I reached for color so soon is a little bit of a cop-out. But I did grab a material that I don't use very often, which are these wax pastels. I'm sorry, they're not wax pastels, they're oil pastels. These oil pastels I don't use very often, and wanted to get in some more practice and experience with them. I tend to not like materials that are chunky, big, thick crayons. I like points and sharp pencils and sharp paintbrushes. Even when I paint, I tend to go for smaller brushes and pointier brushes. So it was a real challenge for me to use these pastels. The other challenge is that I had all sorts of graphite on the page. So once I started to mix the pastels with my finger and smudge them a little bit, then they just mixed with the graphite and made everything muddy. But in the end, I do love this little sketch of a woman carrying a bouquet of larkspurs, which I now know is the primary flower of the month for my birth month, July. The second flower of the month for July is a water lily. And the water lily is kind of an interesting flower. You see me start here with kind of like a cup shape in the center, and this was a helpful example of how water lilies are formed because the bulb really does kind of come around in a cup and then they unfold, like opening up. So at any stage, the flower could be unfolding with some leaves up very close and folded in, and some leaves opened up and some sort of flat out on top of the lily pad that they're probably sitting on or near. So it was really interesting to realize that this is the shape that I need to remember for a water lily. And then there are lots and lots of leaves on a water lily, so I didn't have to pay any particular amount of time studying which leaves go where. But the thing to remember about them is that they all fold up into the center. So the leaves in the center are shorter than the bigger leaves on the outside, like most flowers. So it's good to keep that in mind as you're drawing it. So I just sketched a couple of quick water lilies here. I had no idea that the water lily was the flower for the month of July. And I'm delighted that it is because I like water. And being a water person, water lilies kind of make sense for me. The only way it could be more perfect if they were violets. Now, an eagle actually is doing double duty. It is both the bird of the month and the animal of the month. So it falls into both of those categories. So I gave it a whole page. And I just started by sketching out a basic form of an eagle. When I think about what makes an eagle distinct, like when I'm drawing a bird, how do you know it's an eagle versus any other kind of bird? And I think that there's two things, really. The first is the shape of the head. That kind of square, boxy head feels very uniquely eagle to me. I think their talons are interesting, but lots of birds have talons very similar to this. So they don't read eagle to me as much as they just read bird. But the other thing that reads eagle, and I didn't really get it right in this drawing here, I was trying, is the beak. The sort of sharp nose and beak, and the stern look on the eagle's face, by the way. Its eyes kind of like make a little eyebrow right there. They always look a little angry, but really they're hunters, so they are hunting. And just like in the way that we squint and get better eyesight, I think that that helps them focus in a little bit. And their pupils tend to be very small like this one, so it looks a little weird, but that is really how focused eagles are. And then I go off the rails here on the mouth, really kind of mess it up, and don't ever bother to go back and fix it. At this point, I'm feeling like I know what an eagle looks like, but I want to capture one quickly in flight. So I draw this very quick sketch of an eagle in flight so that I can remember the shape of the wing. I notice how all of the feathers on the eagle's wings are really very long. They take up almost the entire wing with some smaller feathers at the top. Now, the insect of the month for July is a worm of all things. I'm kind of a little grossed out just looking at this. Not a big fan of worms. They've skeeved me out since I was a kid. All bugs. I think I'm probably a typical little girl in that regard. And that's what I think of when I look at these. But an earthworm is pretty simple. And if I ever need to draw one, I probably don't need to look it up. I can simply remember the shape of the worm. All right, on to the tree of the month. No sense spending too much time on the worm, right? The tree of the month is an elm tree. So I wanted to get the shape of these leaves down pat. For whatever reason, even though this leaf is drawn in the illustration kind of pointed to the left, I couldn't do it. I can't make those shapes in that direction. I probably should have challenged myself, but instead I just turned the leaf to the right because that's the way my hands naturally want to go. I think this one was my best one. just really understanding the purpose of adding the center sections and then erasing them let me really realize that those parts of the leaf are actually a little bit more distinct. They have a little more space or separation between them. So I do a few more leaves and then move on to some acorns, which are definitely a distinctive part of the oak tree. Maybe even more distinctive than the leaves are the acorns themselves. So I liked this reference and I drew a few of these leaves and a couple of the acorns. And then I pull out those wax pastels again because I cannot resist and I want to play with color. So I got out the wax pastels and I tried to replicate a very quick and dirty version of this reference photo. Like I said, not really good with pastels, not really good with any of these mediums that are kind of thick and chunky, but I want to be. And they do force me to be a little bit more expressive. So I got my colors in, I blended them together. I really tried to get the feel of the light shining through the big, sturdy, heavy oak tree. I don't know how successful this drawing is, but I was having fun, and that's what's really important. Again, this feels more like painting than drawing, so I think I've cheated a little bit here too. All right, on to my birthday cake. So this is a classic birthday cake illustration. I grabbed it because I think this is the same birthday cake I have been drawing my whole life, with maybe just one candle on it as more of a minimalist style. This is the doodle that I know of as a birthday cake doodle right here. So let me try it two-tiered. Basically, same doodle, a little fancier. I just noticed that I never went back in and added the layers, their cream layers in this cake, and I forgot to add them. So this cake lacks those luscious cream layers in between, but I do have a tiered birthday cake here. I also ran out of space to add the tiers, but I had fun putting these little cherries in and adding the decoration. This is a very passable sketch of a birthday cake. I also was confused about how the ellipse would look from the top to the bottom of the cake. That got confusing to me. That's something I need to study, what an ellipse looks like as you turn and it gets further away from you. Does it flatten? Does it get flatter or rounder? I honestly forget. So I'll have to learn that one. And then finally I went for a more realistic birthday cake, this rainbow cake. It makes me happy. I'd love to get a rainbow cake one day. I say that, but I like chocolate, so unless it's a chocolate rainbow cake, I'm probably not interested. But they are beautiful, so here I am drawing layers of my birthday cake. You can see I struggled with these layers so much because I was trying to get 6 in, and it's really, really hard to divide things up into equal sizes, but I think I got it right here. And then I finally got my 6 in, and then I draw in the layers. Once again, I could not resist adding some color, and I did it after I tried to make this drawing really realistic in terms of the values that I'm adding in the layers here. So once I went back in with the pastels and, I went in with colored pencils and added some color into this cake, it just didn't work. It made another muddy cake. Maybe this was chocolate because all that graphite mixed with the colored pencil lead, and you have just sort of muddy dark colors. So I'm gonna pretend this is my chocolate rainbow cake that we've added some color to because I absolutely love color. Thanks for joining me on 7 Things to Draw in July. Again, the references are linked there in the description, so go ahead and grab the references and draw along with me. And that's the 7 things to draw for the month of July. And we have the flowers of the month, the larkspur and the water lily, neither of which I knew was a flower of the month. So excited to learn both of those. And then the animals of the month this month were an eagle and a worm. It seems like we went from the highest high to the lowest low this month in terms of the animals. So they were both fun to draw. And then finally, the tree of the month, which is an elm tree with its beautiful little acorn nut. And then finally, the wild card, a birthday cake, because July is my birthday month. And that wraps up the 7 things to draw in July. It's a really short one this time. I'm a little pressed for time, but I'll be back next week with an Impressionist oil painting, and maybe I'll get a start and get the 7 things to draw in August out a lot faster than the 7 things to draw in July was. I'm Donna Fox. I'm going from hobbyist to professional artist, and thanks for drawing with me this month. I'll see you again next week. Why do I always forget all of these YouTube things? I'm supposed to tell you to subscribe. I'm supposed to tell you to like or to say something in the comments, and I forget them every single time. You would think this isn't my job. Someday I'll learn.